Now, this one, the quarterback's going in, barrels. Here's the first defender. Number 24 comes over. And we got some good close-ups of the shot and grabs him right by the throat. Right there. The player's in the way. You can actually see, I think it zooms in a little bit more. And there are some other shots, and I just couldn't believe the tactics I was seeing at this game, and you can see the quarterback gets up and he kind of looks like, did that dude just choke the shit out of me? You know what I mean? He was like, whoa, and it really didn't end there. And I don't know if that was before or after this next play. Now, from what I understand, Mason, who plays for the West Warwick Steelers, really had not had a lot of playing time on this particular day. So I'm not sure why there was a reason 24 had all types of built up anger. I'm not, but let's watch this play out. Now here comes the ref, so obviously there's some situation going on, and the crowd is happy whatever has been going on. So something's been going on that the crowd didn't like. Let's see if this referee picks up on anything going on here. Okay, we see West Warwick clapping. Looks like the mouthpiece comes out. And there he goes, the spit. Now, right in front of the referee now, you can actually see it on this film. So I'm sure the referee had to see it, and yet nothing was done. I showed some other people from around the league, some people from the officials association, and they was like, why wasn't that player ejected? Now, yes, it was bad behavior on the player, and I know Rhode Island Preteen is at the top of this situation, right? But really, at this point, this referee has already made bad decisions. He already does not respect the job because he's allowed this to happen. This kid did not deserve to be spit on. And not only he gets spit on, after the referee backs up, there's more of an altercation, and both players get ejected from the game. Now, this next play, I find it real hard to believe that the officials did not see this. It was right in front of his face. Did you catch it? Official right there. definitely is kind of gross. And I think if the official would have did his job right there, but what happens is the official ends up ejecting both of them. Official, does a report saying that both players, saying that even Mason was provoking it, had some words for the other player as well. And we said that is not the case. And I didn't understand how Rhode Island Preteen was standing on this decision, so they threw it right over to the referee, and they was like, nah, it's on Rhode Island Preteen. And then when the parent reached out to Brian Bellucci, he basically said there's no one else you could speak with. We are the executive board for the league. The rules are the rules, whether we agree with some, all, or none. And we'd like to see the entire video of the game, or at least the entire half, that this incident took place, so the league can look at what, if anything, can be done to improve on off-field behavior. Shouldn't have, but, and they provided this evidence. They provided the end zone evidence of quarterback Barrows going in for a touchdown and being grabbed by the throat, so I blame the officials here. I don't think the behavior of some of these kids was appropriate, but I blame the officials. And I don't think anybody on the Raiders side could be upset to say that if that was your child, you know what I mean? If that black kid was your child and someone spit at him and said a racial slur to him, you would be beside yourself. I mean, I would hope you would be beside yourself. And sometimes the parent can be, the child's best advocate, 100%. So Brian went on to say that basically there's nothing that can be done. They are the executive board. And there's been a number of incidents this season by coaches, by players. So maybe we can improve this somehow. But there was no room for reinstatement. He let it be known. And it's like, you're going on a lie. And basically, it don't matter how big the lie is. The referee submitted his lie. And if there wasn't so many people upset over this would have not been overturned. So I reach out to Mike Garvin, Ocean State Steelers. Shout out to Mike Garvin out there in West Warwick. Get well soon, buddy. He based an appeal. Bang. They kept their word. They did that. But the league was still saying, nah, we can't overturn it. It's an NFHS situation. I'm going to show you right now the emails from Brian Bellucci. And I'm sure Rhode Island Preteen going to be mad. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, And Josh Johnson said, oh, this is none of your business. This been rectified. Just because, you guys did what you had to do anyway, because the officials you had at your game lied on this kid Mason. We had to stand up for Mason. And we were still going to talk about it. Just because you overturned it, that don't mean it was not wrong. The official you had at that game lied on this young man. He was spit on, called a racial slur. And he didn't even defend himself. And he has to go home being thinking, even the next couple of days, that I cannot participate in the playoff game because I can't play next week because of behavior of somebody else. And you would think Preteen would have done something to stand up, but for a while, and if the heat didn't come down, this decision would have never been overturned. They were standing on this suspension. They were standing on a suspension of a player that was spit on, called names. He didn't even want to defend himself because he did not want to get in trouble. They called him a racial slur, then shoved him. If your refs would have removed this player when he spit on him, how the refs didn't see it because it went right by his face, he wouldn't have been assaulted a second time, said the Post. At no point did he address this player for spitting. When the ref stepped back, that's when the other player charged at him and pushed him. Then the refs decided to do something. And they ejected both players. And that isn't right. And we all showed you this was the worst ref. And what made it the worst was that he lied. Allegedly, we'll throw that in there. You know, I don't want him to get his feelings hurt. He lied on this young man, Mason, that really just wanted to play football. That's all he wanted to do. At that point, they were going to decide to do something. Let me see if I get this other clip up in there. No, I don't. You know, and if you look on Rhode Island Preteen football on the Secretary of State website, it says organized football league for youngsters to teach leadership and sportsmanship. Leadership and sportsmanship. Well, that was and a big congratulations to Josh Johnson and the Jets. But Josh, you know, you said to me earlier, you know, like, this is none of your business, you know, and anytime this ends up happening, I'm always going to make it my business. You know what I mean? Because things like this need to be discussed. They need to be talked about. And now you guys did the right thing. And Mason's reinstated and can play in next week playoff games. And hopefully more than 9 minutes of the game. Originally, Brian, I think it was, and Roger were both standing on this decision, and it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair. They wanted, you know, send us some footage, send us, you know, to see what happened. And he responds, you know, nah, there's nothing we could do. The rules are the rules. Thanks for the video. I mean, this kid was called an N-word, spit on, assaulted again, because the league referee did nothing when the other player spit on him. This young kid, Mason, he didn't retaliate at all. The referee seen that. He seen this kid didn't retaliate, and he ejected both of the kids anyway. He took the easy way out. Mason got ejected for someone else's behavior. Now because of that, you would be suspended for the next week's playoff game. How fair was that? Mason's parent had on social media said, "My son was assaulted twice and called a racial slur. I provided proof, and they thanked me for the proof and said we need more." So I zoomed in, I went slow motion where you can really see what happened, and they still said that's not enough proof. That's not enough proof. Bottom line is, allegedly the referee lied and said that Mason was fighting. You can see from the video that was provided, Mason never put his hands on the other player. Bottom line is, we had a referee that was willing to falsify paperwork and get this kid ejected. Originally, Preteen was saying, we cannot overturn this. There's no way. It's against the Federation, man. Things were overturned all the time, and you did overturn it. But salute to you for overturning it. I'm glad Mason has a chance to play football. I mean, I know you guys are going to be upset that I did this, but we had to talk about it. And I'm sure you're going to bounce back, but let's do more. I seen another video of some guy slamming a trophy. I'm like, so I look into it. I start reading. The second place winner of the other game slams the trophy and it smashes on the ground. I was like, you just smashed the trophy that your kids earned, man. In the heat of the moment, man. Some of you youth football coaches, man, taking this shit too serious. Again, this was the email from the president, Brian Bellucci. I didn't really like the way he said that, we're the executive board. Like, we the league, man. We the mob. We run shit around here. The rules are the rules, and that's that, basically. Kind of like in Goodfellas, when they rush Joe Pesci in, and that's that. We agree with some, all, or none. Hey, again, we would like to see the entire video. I think what you did see should have been enough. But shout out to you for overturning it. But I still like to know what's going to be done about the lying referee. And I know we need more referees. God forbid, but not like this. Not like this. Not like this guy. Right in front of him. Bang, see? Boom. Right shot to the kidneys right in front of him. And this is, you got to blame the referees for not correcting this. Of course, the behavior, it's bad behavior, man. We cannot have shit like this. You know what I mean? And we're always going to talk about it. So, Josh Johnson, I think I noticed you erased your comments. Shout out to you. But, yeah, this will always be my business. And I know you're on the board. I actually looked it up. I pulled your file with the Secretary of State office, and I see that corporate ID number 4036342. Using the drop down labeled NAICS code below, select classification title, describes the primary type activity. All right, here we go. Organized football league for youngsters who teach leadership and sportsmanship. And the president, Brian Bellucci, treasurer, Lucy Heath, Lorraine Nick Clay, Stephen Pove. Oh, okay, from up there at Situate. Director, Josh Johnson, Josh Razzie, um, Joseph Heath, and Teresa Montalano is the director. Yeah, so Lucy Health, Richmond, Rhode Island. Yeah, so I ended up pulling Secretary of State. I just do my research. But shout out to Rhode Island Preteen. I mean, this ain't totally all their fault. I think they should have, did something sooner. I don't think Brian Bellucci should have stepped up and said, it is what it is. The rules are the rules. And shout out to Mason's mom, for really stepping up, putting the heat on, getting the attention going, and I said, well, we're going to wait and see what happens. I gave it a couple of days because I wanted to do a little bit more research, reach out to a few more people. And they did the right thing. Did they do the right thing because it was the right thing to do? Or did they do the right thing because they had to do the right thing? And shout out everybody. Don't forget, we got some good games coming up tomorrow. And the use of any copyrighted materials is used under the guidelines of fair use in Title 17 and 107 of the United States Code. So just shout out a couple disclaimers, man. I think the West Warwick Lincoln game is going to be very, very good. Can't wait to see that. Go Wizards. Really rooting for West Pennington and the Wizards and the whole team over there in Wizard Nation, man. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of me, okay? And don't reflect the views of anyone else. So don't be getting all upset, man. And who wants to order a Replace Lima t-shirt? Let me know in the comment section. He is such